So hello and welcome back to the garage. I've got an iconic Japanese car. Left-hand drive here. Right-hand drive is what I meant to say. A car that I remember from Gran Turismo, playing back in the day. One of probably the second or third car that I bought in the from the garage in Gran Turismo was a Skyline, and this is the first time that they're imported. Anyway, of the legendary like R32, R33, R34 90s varieties, and this isn't the GTR, obviously. It's got a very interesting motor in it. It's rear-wheel drive, front engine, 6-cylinder turbo. But there's something really interesting about it. I found to be quite shocking, actually. So what you expect, right? An RB engine. What we have is an RB20 DET. So 1998, that's not a production date, that's a displacement size. On a 6-cylinder. This is blowing my mind. A 2-liter 6-cylinder turbo motor is just kind of an amazing engineering marvel to me. So there's the GTS-t, I think that's a 2.5, and then the GTR is even bigger and even more turbo. But a 2-liter motor that has a nice little red line of 7 to 75 is just it's just tits. And I'll do a test drive video, but this is a inside and under, just kind of a tour inside and under the vehicle. So yeah, this thing is extra JDM. It's got a rather small trunk, and that rear wiper blade is the funniest thing I've seen in forever on a coupe. A rear wiper blade. How much sense does that make? I'm not too sure. So one thing while we're up here is, look at this tiny battery. Somebody loves this car. But it's these hydraulic lines. Where are they going? Look at this crazy hydraulic system. Down to a cooler. And look at the power steering pump. It has lines that go forward and lines that go back. What's the story there? Well, that would be a rear rack, rear steering, four-wheel steering. I think it's got hiccups. Is that what it's called? But it's just insane. I think Honda Preludes had this system. And it's for like low speed, mid speed cornering ability, getting car to rotate. But just kind of like trying pretty hard, right? That must be a sensor on the steering rack that is part of the system. But also look at these front control arms. I mean, mind-boggling to me. I don't really see anything else with this setup in the States. Very old school design with the forward thrust link, and yeah, just some very small seeps and an itty bitty turbo. Where are you? Wah, there you are. Look at that tiny exhaust housing. But yeah, good sized brakes. Looks like 4 pistons in the front. Lots of heat shielding on the exhaust. Big beefy driveline. So what we have here is rear wheel drive, and we've got a pretty amazing LSD. Let me demonstrate how good it is. There indeed is a very limited amount of slip. So as you can see, it's 1-to-1, but if I hold this one and I turn this one, it's like, it's almost impossible. And that's one of the stiffest OEM LSDs that I've seen, assuming that it's OEM. All stock exhaust. And it does sound lovely. I'll examine that on my test drive as well. But yeah. What else can I say? What do we got? 16s? Yeah, 16s. 205 front and rear. So what this car is to me is like kind of the standard definition of Japanese 90s sports car. I think 205s are a great balanced size tire, front and rear, for a small or compact car. Front engine, turbo, rear wheel drive, just and one of the simplest sexy bodies of those early Japanese cars. Like my 92 Honda Civic, I swear the same guy was drinking in a bar with this guy when they designed these chassis, because they very much remind me of each other. Yeah, what else can I say about this iconic, crazy car? So I actually love how straightforward and bare bones the whole car is. And it looks like it's very stock and very well maintained. It's got a new alternator, new AC compressor. The water pump looks new. And yeah, stamped steel, oil pan, subframe. It's all very simple and straightforward. Look how much room there is. This is like no nonsense. It's the kind of design language I really appreciate. Look at the bell housing bracing. It's pretty intense. So I got some wheels off, so you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about with these knuckles and control arms. I think it's designed for all-wheel drive. That's why it's open in this space here, so that you can run an axle through there. You'd have to put the sway bar in a different place, but I'm assuming that's why it's built like that. Sumitomo. Not the biggest brakes in the world, but we're working with 205 series tires, and I wonder what the curb weight is on this car, but it's beautiful. And stay tuned, because we're gonna have some fun with this thing. All the way from Osaka, Japan. Nisbo lowering suspension. Super JDM stuff. And I am so happy to see some details on here. KYB. That makes me so happy. These are basically AGX shocks. The same ones I ran. I mean, not same, I'm sure the valving is different and such. But the same setup as my Civic that I tracked for 10 years. I bought an inexpensive set of KYB AGX adjustable shocks and just used, you know, some lowering high rate springs. And I put on wow, look at this offset bushing. What is the deal with that? Strange. But my Civic did wonders. It was just indicative of suspensions that would have cost 20 times what I paid for mine. So it's really cool to see Nismo suspension for a Skyline use a very similar strut. So yeah, I'll be putting these on and test driving this car and going hard and giving you my impressions soon. So stay tuned and rock on, ladies and gentlemen. See you soon.